Hi everybody. So you've always wanted to use a prediction market for your market research project, but you weren't sure how long it would take, what you need, and how to actually do it. So today we'll do one in 20 minutes. I'll show you as a first step what you need to get going. To show you a typical concept test in a prediction market today, all you need for that is a stimulus of the intended product. Here I've invented one. It's called Bugbuster and gives a couple of words about what it does. It helps against nasty viruses, description, a couple of reasons to believe, a price, and if you have it, an image of the intended product. You also need a competitor. I've used a bar which is very frequent in the United States, the kind bar, a grains bar, exactly to the same format. And you also need market data, recent ones. I've already collected it here into sums, and we can see that Kind is currently number 3 in the market with a certain market share. And last but not least, you will need a prediction market, of course. Simply show this with our prediction market. You don't need a own installation or a server these days. You just book it on SaaS. So you can start your own prediction market by clicking here. First thing is you have to buy enough seats for your study. You will need a plan because only public questions are free. Essentially, it's for 10 users, but for a market research study on a prediction market, you want at least 30, 40, 50 users, 100 if it's qualitative. So I say buy now. System asks me how many users I want. 50 is normally fine, so that would cost me $250 a month. I will pay just monthly because for a concept test a couple of days is usually enough. I say next. I enter my billing information and then already get my invoice, which I need to pay by either PayPal or credit card, but that's essentially it. When I design a prediction market, I typically like to scribble it first in a spreadsheet so I can see all the questions in context, the rules which I want to apply, the answer options which I want to offer to participants, and a little bit the text which I would like to see in the wiki. So a concept test typically is comprised of 3 sections. There's a test pattern, which is called LURE for a concept test, which is short for liking, uniqueness, relevance, and estimates. You can compare that to something like action standards in traditional market research. There's a benchmarking section where people have to first think about the market as a whole and then about the identified competitor from whom we want to steal volume. And last but not least, the hypothetical questions about our new product. Here I've done 2 because we want to get a little bit of a sense of price elasticity at the same time. So I'm offering to the audience this bar at $1.69 and $1.85 as a low price and a high price. The rule for that type of question has to specify that it will be judged at the actual market, for instance, 1 year after launch, if the price is around that area, plus minus, give and take a little bit. And start entering the first question. The system first wants to know what our project is called, and I'm going to call this Bugbuster in the United States for 2021, and I make this a new topic, and I make sure I make this a confidential topic so that our competition doesn't know the fantastic new granola bar which we're planning. And off we go, and we can enter the first question. In the next step, I simply copy paste the data from our scribble here into the Prediki new question script module. So I've already done that here. Which of these bars will Americans like more? I've added the rule which I've designed here. I picked the right question type for that. Now normally I just actually don't really like the traditional prediction market, which first generation systems did, which had a binary answer, yes, no, somebody's win or somebody else is going to win. I almost always use alternatives or the answer scale. Here I've designed an answer scale of that kind bars will be liked more a lot a bit, or both equally and the same for Bugbuster. And for reference date, I've allowed 5 days for this concept tests to run, so people can be recruited, can reconsider their answers a little bit, and we already expect the results also on that Sunday in a week. The time zone for this is since this is for the United States, is America, New York. Now I can preview the question. Everything looks fine, and I publish it. Now we see our question battery and how it's populated already with the first question. And now I say add another question to this topic, and I have to do essentially the same with the other questions in our battery. I will show you one more question here, the market question, because that's a different type. So this one, for instance, asks, will the American granola bar market grow or shrink in 2021? Obviously, it's going to be judged by the actual year-on-year change of the US granola bar market in real terms. Here you can see how favorable it is to use the answer scale. I've put here the stagnation scenario into the middle and defined high and so the shrinkage and growth at so to say the maximum which we can imagine given from recent market behavior. Obviously this cannot be done quickly. We will need to wait for year end here until we will know the actuals, maybe even give a couple of days more for the results expectation. So we get that in January, maybe 15 days after. Now we should make this a little bit prettier, so to keep our participants engaged. For that, I add a little bit of imagery. For this, I go into the editor, manage the picture, and enter a couple of pictures like some of our media where people eat snack bars, and confirm that I have the rights to this. And then I upload the image, and now I can set this to use as the image picture. And so when I go out here and check the topic battery, I can see this already being pretty and nice. Now that we've entered a few pictures, let's explain to the participants what they actually have to do and show them the stimuli. So I'm going back into the edit modus and we'll just use these new pictures which we've done. This is a little editor with which we can add the data. I'll just paste that. So we're explaining to the people what they have to do. Most people who come here may not have seen a prediction market before, so we give them a tip that they need to take a third-person view and predict how other people will like these products irrespective of their personal preference. And so here down here we then have the stimuli of the bars, and when we've done that we preview this. Okay, looks good. We enter some reason for the version control system, and save this, and we're done. So our battery is starting to look good, and what we're going to do next is we will invite our boss, who is Hubertus at Prediki, to review these prediction market questions and approve them. So we recruit him. For that, we will send him here as a moderator, and I enter my own email, hjh@prediki.com, and I don't need to add a message since I know why I'm getting this, and I send myself an invitation. Okay, once I've done that, the system sends an email automatically to me personally. So I cycle to my emails, and here we are. I've already received an invitation from Prediki to join this new battery. It will make me a moderator if I choose to participate. So here's a little bit of information, how long it will take and how much there is to win, which is not yet something because we haven't entered incentives. So I log in here with Google with my personal account, and before the system lets me in, I have to confirm that I will keep this confidential. This is of course also important for participants. So yes, I agree. And now the system makes me a moderator of this prediction market battery for all the questions. It's very important for a prediction market to have a moderator to help participants, to guide them a little bit, to motivate them to do more, to do everything, to trade more. Now, my first job as a moderator of this battery is whether my analyst has entered all these questions correctly. I mean, we know he has, because it was me, but just to show you. So I go into one question, it tells me that this question is not yet tradable, it needs support. So I take a quick peek whether everything's alright, all the information given for participants, and I like it. So I go to the support section, which is not open to normal participants, and I support this question, and from this moment onward it's tradable. Once I have checked and supported all questions, I'm now at pretty much my last job here, which is to make sure that participants get paid. On Prediki, this is called sponsoring. So we go into the first question, go into the rules section, which shows how the prize money will be settled, and now we tell the system how much it should be sponsored. We simply enter here the time zone of New York. We want to start now, maybe in an hour or so, 2000. We want to end this on Sunday at midnight. That's fine. There are a number of settlement methods available. That's actually one of the important things to watch out. That's the capabilities of your prediction market. So this one is going to be some prize money distributed pro rata according to accurate predictions, and we'll award this with final results. And for this easy question, we'll give them some $30, which incurs a Prediki fee of $9 for us. I say next, and now I have the possibility to use this also like a campaign, if that, but it doesn't really apply for a market research project. So I just say here this is sponsored by Prediki, and that be it. Next page, I enter my payment details. They are stored already. And here is my invoice. I can pay by credit card, PayPal, and once I do that, the incentive is shown on the prediction market page for the participants. We go back to our battery, and we can see here now that the prize money is shown to participants. It's still yellow, waiting to be to start in about an hour. So that's when we will invite recruits. So last thing for me to do is to give them a nice welcome message and say, welcome to our Bugbuster prediction market. Yep, and offer them help or whatever. You can send this immediately to all participants. There are none at this moment, so I just say it now. And I also pin this on the top so that everybody who enters sees whatever message I give them up here. So that's pretty much it. That sums it up. That was how to set up your prediction market in just under 20 minutes.